Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, hello. Today we are here to continue our journey, our long-awaited journey. And now we've moved past our first step, my first step. Sorry, my guest today is an expert, if you guys don't know, on everything Fast and Furious. Adam.
Yeah, I actually teach at the Toretto College. I teach Toretto text. I we
Oh,
analyze the holy word of Toretto, and so I'm really happy to bring my beliefs and my preachings here today.
thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, because where would we be? We are not joined by Brandon today. He is on his own. He's on his own mission. Just kind of like how Dom and
Yeah, I was gonna
Paul
say,
part ways.
yeah, you can say the roads got separated. The roads got divided this week.
Oh yeah, it's been a long day. Well, he's not dead. But So Too Fast, Too Furious.
Mhm.
Just to recap, I really love the first one. Like, it's one of those 4 stars for me that I was like, I love it so much more than it is good, actually good, and so I can't feel good in my conscience giving it a 5 because I'm like, I loved it like a 5, but I know it's not a 5. You know?
Yes, that's how I feel about the entire series, but I especially know what you mean about about the first movie because the first movie has like a big energy to it, and when it ends you have like a there's like an adrenaline rush. You're like, oh shit, bro, I need to go on Letterboxd and like rate this like as high as it can go, and then you like the cooler head prevails, and you're just like, okay, let's level with it a little bit. Um,
I actually typed out my whole letterbox review, and then I was like, I did everything, and then I was about to hit send, and I was like, no, because I want him to know live exactly how, because I do the, I do the one sentence, like I want to get across exactly how I feel about a movie in
yeah.
one sentence, and mine's very telling. So go ahead, why don't you start with us today? Tell us what you think about. Tell me what you think about Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay, yeah. So Too Fast, Too Furious is a okay, so this movie is like my least favorite of the 9 movies so far. But that being said, it is still a Fast and Furious movie, so therefore I
Mhm.
greatly enjoy it. Is this movie? I mean, this movie like sets the tone in the first 5 minutes that it's even more ridiculous than the first movie. It takes place on an even higher astral plane than the first one. Like, if you thought the CGI races in the first one were bad, then boy oh boy are you in for a treat for this one. You have Devin Aoki, you have Ludacris, you have Tyrese Gibson, you have fucking Eva Mendes, you got
Mhm.
you got a whole supporting cast of people, and I can't remember who played the bad guy, but the bad guy is the most
Mhm.
hammy villain in the entire franchise. He's ridiculous. Um, so that all that being, oh, and also like Paul Walker saying "Forget about it, cuz" like is like my favorite thing in the
Forget
world.
about it, cuz.
So this movie is incredibly stupid. I would it's definitely my last choice if I'm like trying to put on a fast movie, but there's a lot of iconic parts to it. And as far as a studier of fast text, I think it's essential text.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing I noticed about what you said is you mentioned the first 5 minutes. Now I don't know if this first 5 minutes is the same for you as it was for me because I watched the Paul Walker prelude before the movie.
Prelude. What's the prelude? Like, what are you?
My DVD, so when I started the movie, was like, which by the way, the coolest, like one of the coolest DVD intros, even though the disc was a little bit scratched, like at certain points it like would skip forward like a second. Nothing detrimental to the story if there is
Oh, I
one.
hope not. I mean, God, I hope not. I
But yeah, there was so I hit play. Well, first when you get into the main title screen, it makes you decide between oh, crap, I don't remember Paul Walker, Tyrese, and
Brian and
Aoki.
Roman. Yeah.
Roman.
Come
And was it Shuri? Not Shuri. Suki.
on. Yeah, it is Suki. Yeah, you got it right.
Suki. Okay. And you choose between their cars. So actually, it's funny because without even knowing anything about this movie or anything, guess which car I chose?
Should I assume Suki's? Because she has the coolest car out of all of them.
Okay, it was totally Suki's.
She does have the coolest car, right? Like she has the coolest one.
It just looked nice. I don't
Yeah.
get what he means by like they're all like, oh, the convertible. I gotta have the convertible, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that was the worst one.
No, she's the coolest. Like she doesn't I can't remember, she doesn't win the race at the beginning, but like
She gets
she come
third because
she yeah.
she beats out Carlos from Benchwarmers. Remember the guy who says I am 12 and it with a $20 bill on it?
Yeah, he brings out the piece of paper and just the cart. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so
That's a
funny because
classic.
I wasn't on IMDb during the movie, and I was like, "Who is that guy?" And then finally, I looked it up, and then it's him. That's where he's from, and he's also from something else. I totally forgot. I think he's like a side character in something.
Probably.
Yeah, but I didn't. Whatever. Okay, so the prelude is about 6 minutes long. You know how like they would do the Dark Knight Rises, like the 9 minutes of IMAX
Yeah,
footage
right.
before the Hobbit or something. That's what it was. That's what it was like.
Well, what does it involve? Like what's it like I don't think I've ever seen this.
So basically, it's really shitty. It's really bad.
It's really
Um,
shitty.
but like Paul Walker lets Toretto go. They re-show that,
Oh,
and then they're
this
like, "Oh, he leaves his home. You see his badge hanging on his mirror and whatever." He goes on the road and he's like winning races as he's like traveling across the country or whatever. And this hot girl helps him get away from the cops. And
this is what I was telling you about last week. I got mixed up though. I said it was about because this is a post-credit scene in the first movie as well.
oh, okay. So
Well,
no, no, no. I saw the
in
post credit scene
some
in the first
editions,
one.
of the first one, probably just I don't know, but it's you can also find it on the special features for the first movie. But I think they might have played it before the second movie on some copy. Like it's very weird where they decide to play it at. But yes, I have seen that. I just didn't know copies played it before the first movie or the second
I
movie.
totally because I remember you saying that now that you're like, there's a video I want you to see, and I just happened to watch it.
Yeah, you can log the prelude on Letterboxd itself, which I think is
Wow.
hilarious. Yeah,
It's its own entity. It's a Rogue One.
it's that's yeah, no, I think it's a Rogue One. No, it's pointless and it's stupid, but it's text. It's something you have to study.
It's
Like
text.
it's all biblical. Um, but yeah, no, so yeah, I forgot exactly the intricacies of the prelude. But if I remember correctly, the
The
movie
intricacies.
the movie begins in Miami, right? Right? It's
Yeah, from
Miami.
what I when I remember the movie today, the movie starts and they're racing, and then Ludacris is like, "Nah, you guys need to have four." And they're like, "Oh, well, get somebody." He's like, "Anybody?" And they're like, "Yeah, whatever." And then he gets Brian.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was trying to remember if because I know the movie largely takes place in Miami, but I couldn't remember
Oh
if
yeah, all of it takes place
Brian.
in Miami.
Okay, I couldn't remember if Brian was at the very beginning living in Miami. So yeah, I guess he like went to Miami to like lay low after the events of the first movie. He literally changed coasts of America, uh, and I like that this movie, and it's also fun to like watch these older ones and see the evolution of these characters because in this movie, Ludacris is just straight up a like he just owns a shop. He's like a
He's
yeah,
just
he
a cool
just
dude.
designs cars. And by the seventh movie, he's like expert hacker who also knows jujitsu and like can expertly manufacture like army grade cars and shit.
Yeah, and this one he's just kind of a wild card. So I totally get where you're coming from. Where it's like, what? How did he evolve?
Same with Roman. I mean, Roman, his entire thing is that like he went to juvie for like very basic like things, like just like kind of like general GTA kind of stuff, like nothing kind of crazy. And then by
Everyday GTA, you know.
yeah, everyday shit. And like by the eighth movie, he's like on the FBI's most wanted list, and he's like an expert assassin, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, but this is the origin. This is like the Joker of it's the origin story. You get to see how they all became the Joker, and but yeah, no, it's fun for what it is. It's ridiculous,
No,
but like,
I'm happy I watched the Prelude before because we talked about this last time, and you were like, he's still a cop, but he's not a cop. They say it many times in the movie. They're like, he's not a cop, but he's working with the police. So I get where
well,
you would say he's a cop.
well, in the mm, okay, all I'll say is in the fourth movie, he is straight up a cop.
Oh, okay. So he clearly got back on their good graces.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like tell you verbatim what exactly happens like last
Hmm.
week, but um yeah, I mean, when we get to the fourth movie, you'll see exactly what happens. But like, uh, yeah, I didn't just serve you misinformation for no reason at all. I promise. I I choose my words wisely when I'm talking about Fast.
But the
Uh,
Prelude really helped to bridge the gap because if not, I would just be like, oh, he's here now. Like I wouldn't have known that like he
yeah,
was on the lam, unless they.
they barely reference the first movie in this one either. I mean, they like very briefly are like, oh, after that stunt you pulled in L.A. or like stuff like that. But like, you
Well,
can
no, he has a
honest.
whole conversation with Tyrese where he's like I'm the reason why you saved Toretto, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like very brief. Like not it doesn't feel like a traditional sequel where it like picks up on any plot points. It's all like
Hmm.
very brief references. Where I almost feel like they wanted to make this accessible to audiences. Like they wanted to make it almost like a James Bond thing, where you could go into any Fast movie and just watch it without your knowledge of the prior one.
Hmm.
Which I don't know if that works per se. Like I think it works for James Bond okay, but I prefer the episodic storytelling.
No, I agree. I'm gonna put a pin in that because that's part of my larger point. Because I'm just gonna say generally how I feel about the movie. Um, I feel like dog water would be harsh.
So that's how you feel about this movie? Like you think it's that bad?
It's like okay. So I'll tell you what my letterbox review is gonna be. It's proof that Vin Diesel is the most valuable player. Like he was missing in this movie.
Yes, no, I agree. There's a reason why it's my least favorite one.
Hmm.
Um, and even though I love like Tyrese and Ludacris's characters, they're at the very early stages of these characters where like they're not quite as iconic as they later become. So
Hmm.
you're kind of just watching like you're literally watching Ludacris, the rapper, get paid to be in this movie, like just to play Ludacris basically. And my favorite part about this movie is that Ludacris's music play like Ludacris's character plays Ludacris's music, the rapper. So it brings up the parallel of, does Ludacris the rapper exist in the Fast and Furious cinematic universe alongside the character Tej? And then therefore has he never thought, wow, the guy Ludacris looks just like me? So I wonder if in the Fast and Furious universe there is Tej, and then and then the rapper Ludacris is just named Chris Bridges, which is his real name.
Oh yeah, which I found that weird when the credits they were like Chris Ludacris Bridges, but
Yep.
Tyrese is just Tyrese.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that was back in the day when Tyrese is just trying to go, because now Tyrese is trying to go off of his acting persona. But back in the day, Tyrese was like, he was a lot like Zendaya and Beyonce. He wanted to be sold as just Tyrese, which I like. It's like if you want to sell your name, it has to be not like a generic name. Tyrese is a very
Well,
very
I don't know
generic
any other
name.
Tyreses.
Um, I know like personal Tyreses. I don't know any other famous
I've
Tyreses.
never met a Tyrese in my life.
I have, um, but I've never met a Zendaya. That's for sure. I've never met a
Oh,
Beyonce.
those every day, every single
Oh, okay.
day.
Yeah. But doesn't Tyrese have a song on the soundtrack? I could be wrong.
That is the one of the aspects of the movie that I do not look into. No, the music is great for what it is. It's not something I'm putting on my Spotify playlist. I just think it's cute when in the movie we hear Ludacris rapping about cars
That's what I'm saying.
in the
That's what I'm
movie.
saying. Yeah, it's great. Like, there's actually a whole Twitter thread about like parallels and like paradoxes in the Fast universe, and like, see, that's why I want Fast 9 to cut to credits with "Feel Like I Do." Like, I want it like what I want the barbecue. Like, I want it to have the barbecue scene, and then it pans up to the sky. It's like I feel like I do. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, so I want more paradoxes in my Fast universe.
Like I said, I'm being harsh. Now here's who I'm blaming. I'm not blaming Paul Walker and Tyrese, even though obviously they're not anything special acting wise.
Right.
Or like when it comes to the whole cast, I mean, they're all very one note, but I don't think it's any of the cast's fault. Like Paul Walker's cool, Tyrese is cute and funny, and what's it called? Ava Mendes is hot. The villain is mean. You know what I mean? Like no one. There's no interesting characters in this whatsoever.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to this movie. Like, cause like the first movie is very yeah, it's
Like a
by the
movie.
numbers. But by the numbers, but like you buy it, you believe it all, like you get invested in the drama. This is very much like you either admire it as a B movie or
Mm-hmm.
you don't like it. Like there's no in between. Like there's no way on God's green earth that you like this as a film. Like there's no
Mm-hmm.
dramatic stakes. There's no, so like you're either just like, okay, I'm enjoying this movie, or you're like, this is awful. Like there's no in between. There's no middle road to sit on.
There's a review that I read, and I'm putting this in my letterbox review. I'm quoting it because I think it's perfect with what you're saying. But top critic from MovieFreak.com, Sarah Michelle Fetters, back on July 5th of 2003, said, "Happily, those fears turned out to be unfounded. As Too Fast, Too Furious is far more silly. It's far more entertaining than it has any right to be. It's too silly, too dumb, and yet undeniably too entertaining to really care." And every single time she said two, there was the number two.
yes, I am gonna marry her. I think I no, I think that's lovely. I completely agree with that. Like there's a point because like honestly, my biggest complaint with this movie is that honestly throughout the entire Fast franchise, I don't care about the runtime. People always complain like, why are these stupid car movies 2.5 hours? And I'm like, good. I'm glad they are because but when it comes to I don't think this one's quite 2.5. I think it's like just over 140, 150 about. Like
147.
yeah. Um this one feels longer than like the
Yes.
ones that are 2.5 hours. Like you feel the runtime with this movie.
Mhm.
Um which is why I firmly believe this movie could have been like 80 minutes max, arguably 70, with credits, and just have like them doing a dance number during the credits.
Yeah,
But
actually, it's so that kind of movie.
yeah, I
Yes.
would love that. Let me who's the John Singleton?
John Singleton.
Release the Singleton cut. That's what I want.
Actually, speaking on John Singleton, I think he did a great job. Now, let me explain. Because I think the tone is why the movie persists. Because the movie has a huge cult following. Like I almost wish Brandon was here today because he loves this movie. So hearing us both talk about because I feel you like it more than I do. I don't really like it at all. I agree with the review that she gave that it's silly and it's in a memeable way, but honestly, the first movie is kind of damning because I know that you can have the cool cars, hot women, jokes, tough guy stuff, and
Right.
you could also have an actual movie with a plot and character like arcs and stuff. Like you can actually pull off. You can have both, but this one's it's just vibes and not in a good way.
Well, I that's why I like it, but though because like but I won't lie. I mean, okay, but you compare it to the first movie. But like I know how good the first movie can be, so therefore it's hard to go back to like the meme of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of the opposite, where it's like I know the heights of like Fast Five and Fast Six, So therefore, it's hard for me to care about something so small scale. I mean, the first movie works because you're establishing the characters and you're like still in it. Like like the drama is fresh. It's the first time they're ever having these interactions, opposed to like the eighth movie where they've had it like 80 times already.
Mm-hmm.
But um the second movie doesn't necessarily work on a dramatic level because like yeah, he's already interrogated and integrated himself into like a crime family before. Like this isn't new. We know how it
Yeah.
ends. Like we know this. Like so not only does it make the mistake of like treading familiar ground, but it does it with like less interesting characters. So I feel
Yep.
like it has all of the makings of a just an iconically like bad sequel that you reference when you're like, well, I hope it's not as bad as that sequel. Like when a new movie gets announced and you're like, well, I hope it's not as bad as that one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I feel that way, but I understand why other people do.
And I think you bring up a great point because, like I said, it's not the cast, it's not John Singleton, it's the script. It's 100% the script, and I know that for a fact because the Messiah himself, in an interview in 2015, said everything that I need to know about this movie. And it was Vin Diesel explaining why he wasn't in this movie. I'm sure you've heard this quote. He was like, actually, I wish I could pull it up because it's the most insane thing that he says. Like, he doesn't just say it like a normal human being. He finds the weirdest, most ridiculous comparison to bring it up. But yeah, because he's not in the movie. I want him. Like, I don't know. Like, when I watch this franchise, I want to see Vin Diesel. And I like Paul Walker. Paul Walker, like I said, super duper cool. I love Paul Walker. Cute. Tyrese is a great side character. He's cute. He's funny. Beautiful teeth. Gosh, he's gorgeous. But yeah, I found it. So in a 2015 article with Variety, Vin Diesel revealed that he turned down a $25 million offer from Universal Studios to return for this film. Diesel reasoned that the premise of the film did not work, stating, and I quote, Universal Studios didn't take a Francis Ford Coppola approach to it. You know, the classic Francis Ford Coppola approach. I mean, I know what he's talking about, but they approached it like they did sequels in the 80s and 90s, when they would drum up a new story, unrelated for the most part, and slap the name on it. And that's exactly verbatim how I feel. It feels like a rejected Bad Boys script or any kind of buddy cop.
Well, that's the thing because he doesn't have the personality of Fast. Like even the later movies, like they have the personality of like because when you go to a Fast movie, you expect the family angle. You expect the cool
Mm-hmm.
cars. The cars in this movie are stupid. Like they're really dumb. Like they're not exciting. And like no, the only car scene in this movie that I legitimately like is like the cop chase at the end with the EMT guns. I think that's actually pretty exciting. I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
that. But that being said, like there is no other car action in the movie that I actually enjoy. Although I will say during that cop chase that I'm talking about, I would say top 10 lines of the entire franchise is Tyrese yelling, "Ejectocito, cuz." That's my favorite thing. Like I love that shit so much. And also you brought up the screenplay, so I just want to go over this guy's. It's a writing duo actually, which is insane to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not look it up. I wish I
I want to
did.
get your reaction live on pod. Okay.
Okay,
So
yes.
their most notable movie apparently is Too Fast, Too Furious, but they've made three other movies. This one's actually I haven't seen it, but it's good. The Three Tim to Yuma remake from James Mangold, with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. They wrote that apparently, and apparently it's good. I've never seen it, but
The Cheetah movie.
Cheetah.
Cheetah. Yeah, the Yuma.
Oh, okay. Wanted, which I like,
Yeah,
and
I actually watched that. They're a very similar vibe. Exactly similar to this franchise.
a lot of exposition. And here's the one that really threw me off is the 2004 classic Kirsten Stewart, Corbin Blue film, Catch That Kid, they wrote.
Huh.
Yes.
Not
So
qualified.
that leads me to my joke of how many guys does it take to catch that kid? Two.
It's and I think there was another thing that Vin Diesel said about the second one. I forgot what it was, but yeah, there's and I'm gonna amend a sentence that you said earlier. You said it doesn't have the personality, and I would argue that that's the only thing that it has. That's what I mean by tone. It does have the all of the personality things. It doesn't. What it doesn't have is the heart, and that's what you were talking about with the family angle. It doesn't have any of the heart because and Tyrese, like I said, he's great at what he does. You know, in the later movies when he's just a side guy cracking jokes, whatever. I'm here. I'm part of the team. I'm tough. I'm cool. I'm funny. But when he gives his emotional, like, oh, I didn't take responsibility for my whatever, like that shitty arc. I'm not gonna call it an arc. That's not an arc. That is a piece of plywood that's floating in the ocean. That's not an arc. And like I don't buy it whatsoever, but at least I buy Vin Diesel every moment and I feel for him. Like there was no like when you say you didn't like the car action scenes, I'll disagree. I did like the one where they jumped the bridge, even though that made me realize I was like, these people are rich.
When I say the cop chase, that's kind of the same thing. Like it's the same scene basically, right?
Oh, I thought you meant the one at the end. I'm saying when they jump they bring the drawbridge up. Remember, Ludacris is like, "Oh, I got some cool." Tej was like, "I got some cool shit for you guys."
Oh, I thought you meant like at the end where they crashed into the yacht. My bad.
Oh no, and that's awesome for what this movie is. That's a highlight. That. And there was an Endgame moment in this movie when they go into the warehouse and then everyone exits out. Like that was like Endgame.
When I told you last week that I want to direct the last one and like they all come out like the portals but in cars, that's what I'm referring to. Like that's what I want to see. Like I want to see that. Yeah. No, there's parts of it that I enjoy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like this movie. Like there's parts of it that I like. I would just say again, in comparison to the other ones, there's a reason why it's my least favorite. But there are things that I like, and aside from the car action and like I like Paul Walker, I like Tyrese, I like Ludacris. I gotta say I like the villain too. Like I like him. I even like him more.
He did go for it. He did.
I don't know why I like him so much. I think it's because I genuinely like felt intimidated by him every time he was on screen, especially that scene with the fucking rat in the bucket. Like that got me. That got me. I remember watching that when I was a kid. Shout out to 7-year-old Adam watching this when he was like 7 years old and sitting on his living room floor, terrified of the rat scene. But yeah, it's really creepy, and that he hams it up, but he sells it. He was supposed to return for Fast 4 or something, but they couldn't get him for some reason.
Well, yeah, because they were like, he's like, I'm coming back for you, Tyrese, and he's like, is he actually gonna get out? Like that was a funny, but no, the rat thing is cool. That was awesome.
It was a good villain moment. I gotta say, I like him better than the Yakuza guys from the first movie.
Oh yeah, because he actually had personality. Instead of just I'm mad all the time.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I would say this is the perfect kind of movie that I would throw on at a function where we're not watching it whatsoever, and it's just kind of on, and there's pretty colors and whatever.
I mean, there was a point in my life where I went to Planet Fitness like once a week, and every time I went to Planet Fitness, they would have Too Fast, Too Furious on. Like every single fucking, like literally, not just Fast and Furious movies, specifically Too Fast, Too Furious. And I was like, honestly, it's good motivation. It really is. Yeah, it's incredibly silly, and I think, I mean, honestly, the thing that, because I think if the franchise for some reason never evolved Fast 5, let's say it ended with Tokyo Drift. Like Tokyo Drift underperformed, and they were just like, okay, we're not going to do it anymore. We're done with the Fast movies. I don't think this movie would be hated. Like I think this movie would be like looked fondly upon. But because we have the heights of like 7 and 8 and stuff, and we got the Hobbs and Shaws and stuff, now we're looking back and we're like, really, like little car jumps and all, how cute. Like he jumped a bridge, like how cute.
Mhm.
Like, and also like the little anime races at the beginning are just ridiculous.
No, yeah,
They're
you're exactly right. In comparison to the rest of the franchise, it's dog water, which I'm happy about because I'm happy I don't have this the same like because I would get tired of these if every movie I was just like, yeah, it's dumb and fun and I liked it. Like yes, this one has elements of it's dumb and fun and I like it, but
right.
it's and actually I have a beautiful question for you. So rank, oh shoot, I haven't seen Bad Boys for Life, but rank.
You haven't?
No, I didn't. I just totally missed it. Is it
Oh
on a
wait, yeah,
streaming
that's
service?
right, because you hated the first two, right?
Yeah, and I didn't have to watch the third one, so I just didn't.
The third
But
one's kind of the best one, but
no, I believe it. That's why I'm actually looking it up on Just Watch right now to see if I can watch it. But
you can use my
where?
Voodoo. I'll give you my login.
Oh,
Uh,
oh. I do that for
um,
my grandma. I was on the phone with my grandma for almost 2 hours today, just telling her about all my new Voodoo movies. Like, go watch this, grandma. No, but what's it called? So rank this. Is it better than Bad Boys or Bad Boys 2? Too Fast, Too
no,
Furious.
no, not at all. No, because
So it's
I mean,
worse than those?
but you know me. I love the Bad Boys movies. Um,
Okay,
I
I'm gonna disagree. I think it's better than those pieces of shit.
No, absolutely not. Bad Boy. Okay, so here's my ranking of the Bad Boys movies and where like Too Fast, like as if it's the fourth movie in the franchise.
Hmm.
I would go Bad Boys. mm, okay, I like Bad Boys 2 the most, but I contend Bad Boys for Life is the better movie. But
Hmm.
just for my own taste, I'm gonna go Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys,
Hmm.
Dog Water, and then Too Fast, Too Furious.
See, all right, I'm gonna completely disagree. I'm gonna go Hot Fuzz, Too Fast, Too Furious, Dog Water, and then Bad Boys 1 and 2. Then we'll call it a tie. I
I'll
couldn't stand
go.
either one.
I'll go Valiant, Home on the Range, Jimmy
At least
Neutron
Home
Boy
on the
Demon.
Range looks pretty.
um, uh, uh,
Valiant might be the ugliest animated movie I've ever seen.
I have a quick. I know this is so off topic, but I have a quick story that it's really funny. I went to an advanced screening of that movie when I was like 8
Oh, why?
at Regal Winter Park. We saw it as like on a random Wednesday night,
Uh-huh.
and this is like the dumbest thing in the world. Like I would, if I was older, I would like sue people. They deliberately turned off the movie with like 10 minutes left, like in the big climactic moment, and they like made it an activity for the kids to like pretend to flap their wings to get the projector to come back on. It's like, kids, flap your wings, turn it back on. And then like we all got up out of our seats and we're like, turn it back on. And then like it did. That's what happened. And
and
then
then
it was
and then it did.
yeah, and then we all and then like it just got really awkward. Like it was awkward because we were all like flapping our wings, and then the movie starts playing like automatically, and then like the lights go off, and like we're like, oh, we're sitting now. Okay, cool. Like I like
Oh my gosh, that is.
it's
Are you,
so
I'm
cringy.
sure you're remembering that wrong. There's no way they would do
A
that to you
hundred
guys.
percent, 110%, it happened.
My favorite part about it is I'm just imagining a theater full of just children,
It's not just children. I mean,
like
like I
unaccompanied by parents.
no, I was with my my mom's friend because I my entire thing when I was a kid was I had my mom was friends with people that worked at Radio Disney. Shout out to Radio Disney.
Mhm.
And we got free tickets to all the Disney screenings and Valiant. But my mom couldn't make it that night. She had something going on. So my mom's friend
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I'll take him to go see Valiant because that's he has to see it." Um, and
Yeah.
and so yeah, I just remember, and I also distinctly remember like she made me drink apple juice. Like she got me a kids pack, and she's like, "You can't get Pepsi. You got to get apple juice." So like I was already pissed off. I was having a bad night. I was I'm like, who drinks apple juice with popcorn? This is bullshit. Like I, I
I
was sort
would. I would so much rather have, to this day, every moment of my life, I would vote apple juice over Pepsi. I've
but
never
with
had Pepsi.
popcorn, that's just a bad combo. I think
No,
that's a
but
bad combo.
actually, I can confidently say that the first time I ever had brown soda with popcorn was when we watched Nomadland. It was Lauren's birthday a month ago,
Really?
and she had a free large popcorn that expired in like a week, and she had a large cherry vanilla Coke. And
Oh my
I
god.
don't do brown soda,
Fuck. That
but I
sounds
had
good.
yeah, but I had it because she had it, and I was like, yeah, this is good. But I've just never been a brown soda, so I would definitely go with apple juice all day long.
Hey, look, I'm not defending soda, but when it comes to like pairing with popcorn, it's the way to go. Like
Well,
that's like ancient
it's
movie
the
theater tech.
sweet and the salty. You know what I mean? Like juice is so sweet, and then the popcorn salty. It works. I think it works better.
Have we talked about my tendency to put jalapenos in my popcorn at the movies?
Interesting. Jeez.
Yeah,
Is it for the juice, or you actually
I like
like?
spice. I like the spice.
Oh,
I
interesting.
like spicy popcorn. I I have I have a friend that I'm talking to. I actually revealed this to her tonight. I was like telling her about like okay, because like we were just like giving up like food like things we're ashamed of, and we were admitting it to each other. And I told her I'm like no, she told me she's like I love coleslaw. I'm like well I like putting jalapenos in popcorn. And she said well I'll do you one better. I like getting the free water cups from the movie theaters and filling it up with jalapenos and eating it during. And I'm like okay that's a little bit.
Wait, you said that?
She said that. I'm I
She said that. That
no
crazy.
no I'm not that no I'm not that deranged. I but you know what? When Fast 9 comes out, I will. I'll go to AMC. I'll see it in Dolby. I'll
Do
get
they
the
sell Corona
large.
there?
Shit, they better. I mean, because at the bar, at the MacGuffin's bar, they have the specialized drinks for all the new movies.
It's
Um,
one just a Corona.
it's just a Corona. Yeah, it's just it's a seltzer, a Corona seltzer or some shit.
Well, which
Like
by the way, they didn't. I don't think there was any Corona in this movie.
no, because Toretto wasn't there.
It's. I miss
See,
him so much.
here's the thing. If I directed this movie, because I'm an expert director, I would have had a scene where like him and Roman go to a bar and Roman tries to order like a Budweiser or something and Brian's like, nah, bro, you gotta try Corona. So it's like a very subtle way of knowing it's like, hey, Dobbs has a hold on Brian even when they're miles apart. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I would do. I'm not saying Universal should hand me the rights to the franchise or anything, but like they should.
So I'm gonna throw a sports metaphor out at you.
Please do.
Well, three different ones because it was like a train of thought that I had. Because when like I was very quiet after the movie, I didn't have anything to say about it. My girlfriend's like, "Oh, did you like it?" And I'm like, and then I went to the bathroom.
Well, okay, has she watched both of these with you so far?
Yes. Well, she's like there doing her homework, and I'm
Oh.
watching.
Oh,
And
okay.
I will say, actually, remember how last time I prided the first movie? If anything, this just makes me love the first movie more. But I prided the first movie on I did not get up, I did not pause the movie, I did not check the time. I watched it all the way through. This one, about 450 minutes into it, I paused it and took a nap.
I mean, I get it. It gets pretty boring at points, so I understand.
And I didn't miss a beat. I really didn't miss a single beat. And so here are my sports metaphors. I said to her, I was like, "Do you remember how the Cavs were after LeBron left the first time, or the second time?" And then I was like, "No," because I read the trivia and they were like, "Oh, he went to go do Vin Diesel went to go do Triple X." So that's not, that's not winning two championships with the Miami Heat. Same thing with I was like, oh, it's like Kevin Durant leaving the Thunder, but then no, I don't think Vin Diesel was very successful without these. Like if you take Fast and Furious out of his filmography, and you take out his voice acting, then he really doesn't have much.
I think it went both ways, really. Like it was a lot like the best comparison I have actually, not so much recently with this guy, but like I would say maybe Dwight Howard with the
I was literally that was my third one, and I
yeah,
thought you'd get it because you're a Magic fan.
well, because I mean, because like I remember the whole meme was like after Dwight left, he was just having like he struck out like so much with each team he
Yes.
won to, and also and then it's the tragic, it's that's the thing,
Yeah.
it's the Orlando tragic, like they build up your hope just to like tear it down again, and
Mhm.
but the thing is, yeah, that's very comparable to that franchise, to this franchise rather, because Vin Diesel, I think Triple X was only a year after the first Fast and Furious movie, I believe 2002.
2002, yeah.
And then he did, I guess, The Pacifier and the Chronicles of. He was really banking on the Chronicles or the Riddick sequel, the Chronicles of Riddick, which I like the Riddick.
Pitch Black.
Riddick or Pitch Black was the first one. Chronicles of Riddick was the second one.
Okay.
But the character's name is Riddick. But yeah, he was really banking on Chronicles of Riddick because that movie had like a 10 times the budget of the first movie. The first movie was like a Sundance movie, basically. The second one was like Universal said, okay, yeah, let's give you like $80 billion to like do this, which is a great idea.
Because they had a bona fide movie star in the movie. Too Fast, Too Furious does not have a bona fide movie star.
I'm wondering because, like, honestly, Vin Diesel has so much clout in Hollywood for a guy that only has, and I say this, I love the guy, but he only has one successful franchise that he's the face of.
But it's like the most successful franchise. Yeah, considering it's not based off of anything. It's just like no one can really explain it. It's just, yeah, we made this one shitty movie and then we just didn't stop.
We made this one shitty. That's my dream, actually. Just make one shitty movie and just not stop. I think no. Hey, I'm not. Hey, I'm the last guy. I'm not talking shit, but I just find it interesting because it's like he got Triple X off the ground. He got Riddick off the ground. He got the fucking Last Witch Hunter off the ground. He got he started so many franchises that he never saw through. At no fault to his own, just, the audience didn't turn out for them. Like, and every franchise that he attached himself to, like, got taken from him, too. Like, also, Triple X got taken from him, from Ice Cube. Like, Ice Cube stole them. Like, he just was like, all right, cool, it's mine now. Like, so, and then every sequel that he's not in is shitty. So, like, people know we need the Diesel. We need the Mark Sinclair.
Vin Diesel. No, but the Dwight Howard one was perfect. But you know what? We're both Orlando Magic fans. I guarantee you can tell me more about Dwight Howard's career post the Orlando Magic than you could about the Orlando Magic without Dwight Howard.
I wish that would. I get your point, and I wish I could say yes, but unfortunately,
I would rather have anything else than Vin Diesel. I'd rather watch literally anything in Vin Diesel's filmography. Bloodshot's better than this. The Pacifier, the Riddick, everything's better than Too Fast, Too Furious. And you want to know why? It's because they at least have a bona fide superstar at the, in their lineup.
I won't say everything he's done post Fast is better than this, because like Babylon AD is pretty fucking bad. Like, I hate it. Bloodshot, I hate it.
I kind of like Bloodshot.
God willing, buddy. I hated it.
The trailer was better than the movie, though. I'll give you that.
A lot of things were better than that movie. But yeah, no, I hated Bloodshot. I was surprised how much I didn't like it, because I was like, hell yeah, he's Vin Diesel and his blood is shot. Like, I'm like, let's go, baby. Like, and it just didn't work. But that being said, I like The Last Witch Hunter. I like the Riddick movies. I love The Pacifier. We already talked about it last week.
Pacifier's great. I'm being very fake right now. I haven't seen anything besides The Pacifier.
I'm curious what you would think about the Riddick movies, because like those if you want to talk about like original movies, that's a whole ass like world building like cinematic universe that gets a sequel like every 8 years just randomly. And I
told you I put on I have it right here. I put on Pitch Black, and I just was like, I should pay more attention to it, so I turned it off.
Pitch Black is really good. Chronicles of Riddick is not great, but it's super ambitious, so I kind of respect it. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, just called Riddick, is fucking awesome. I love it. It's the coolest.
Was that like 2013, something recent? Yeah.
I remember I saw that because I didn't have expectations for it at all. I was like, oh, it's gonna suck like Chronicles did. And I just went to like a random like Wednesday IMAX 9:30 3D showing of it, and I loved it. It was so fucking fun. So yeah, I suggest you check out the Riddick franchise. I think you'll dig, especially if you're feeling the need for Vin.
No, I do want to become more well versed on him. it was just depressing watching this movie
Well,
without him.
so
There's nothing. It felt like watching, when you watch Cartoon Network and it's just a string of like 3 minute long like Looney Tune sketches, and like you could literally leave and then come back, and at any point in time, and there's nothing, no catching up to do or anything. It's just, all right, here's the new action scene that's going on. That's what I
well,
felt.
I think it's actually pretty comparable to like post Renaissance era Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Actually, that's a good. I know that's not exactly what you were intending with that analogy, but that's also a good one. It's like this is like post SpongeBob, post Camp Lazlo, post Zack and Cody of each respective channel. If you know what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
If you no, not at all. Okay, so like after like let's say Zack and Cody ended on Disney Channel, you would go on there and you would. I mean, granted, people. It's probably just because it got old, but like after Zack and Cody and Hannah Montana and like That's So Raven ended, and I went on Disney Channel, like what the fuck is Good Luck Charlie? Like what is this
Yeah.
bullshit? So like that's how I feel about Too Fast. It's like my man's not in there, you know. And as much as I love Paul Walker, he can't carry it alone, and he doesn't necessarily, but he is the face of the movie, and I don't think it necessarily works.
I think like I like that they become friends. I don't understand why Tyrese changes his mind at all. And they're just at the beginning of the movie, they're just two cool dudes, and at the end of the movie, they're two cool dudes with money. And
I
like it's a cute ending and whatever, I guess. I just
what did they say at the end? It's like
my pockets aren't empty and I'm not hungry anymore.
his pockets ain't empty, cuz like so stupid. It's so dumb. Okay, so like you said you didn't like this one for a lot of reasons, but like a big part of it is like you missed Diesel. You don't like the
Yeah.
whole spin-off aspect of it all.
Well, actually, no. I said it was Vin Diesel. In reality, I'm just missing Jordana Brewster.
Right, yeah. Miss Marlon Brando. I think but I'm curious how you'll feel about Tokyo Drift because I think yes, while Tokyo Drift doesn't have like the like it's not a direct sequel to the first movie, it's basically a spin-off. I loved Tokyo Drift because it's so stylish and unique and like cool. And I
Mhm.
do and
That's
yeah,
what I like about this one. This one's good with that.
well, then I hope you like Tokyo Drift. Like I really
Mhm.
hope you like it because I'm actually pretty I have no passion for this one that we're talking about today.
Me
Um,
neither. That's why I was like, this is gonna be. I mean, we're probably gonna get to an hour, but like, still, like, we got 2 hours in the last one. Like, in this one, we're just
yeah,
like
no, we're not
talking
gonna
about
do it.
apple
Yeah.
juice.
And Valiant. Um, yeah, no, I think the Tokyo Drift is awesome though. Like I love Tokyo. And we're actually gonna cover it on Zillennial Canon soon because Kira's watching it tomorrow night. So I just text her. I'm like, Zillennial episode soon. So we're gonna do that. And
No,
also Tokyo.
I'm excited going forward. If I had to rank, because I'm gonna keep ranking these. If I'm doing just the first two, obviously it's one, then two.
Yeah.
But if I'm ranking with like my memory of 5 through 8 and Hobbs and Shaw, I'm gonna go from best to worst. Um, the Fast and the Furious, the original, Furious 7, Fast 5, um, Fast and Furious 6 question mark slash Fast Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, the prelude to no, I'm kidding.
Prelude.
But yeah, this is definitely the worst one for me. It's definitely
I
nowhere
don't
near
I
the
don't see that
top.
changing. I don't see it changing whatsoever. Like
It's nothing. It's a spin-off. It's literally Rogue One. It's literally just nothing unless you want to know more about like it feels like a straight to DVD sequel. Like, oh, here's the one about the side. This is Cars 2. This is Cars 2.
I'm actually I said I was curious how you would feel about Tokyo Drift, but now I'm actually really curious how you feel about 4 because without getting too much into it, 4 is like a direct sequel to 1. Like
Good.
it literally like picks up on the drama and like the care like exactly like all the mixed emotion like how you would expect them to naturally react to seeing each other after 10 years after what they did to each other they follow up with and I think you'll go crazy for it. I'm
No,
like I'm
that
actually
one
very
sounds
excited.
great.
Yeah, so I'm very excited because like everything you say like I want to see the story continue. I want to see Vin Diesel. So I'm just waiting for you to get to 4. That's what I'm waiting for.
See, because I like all the surface level stuff, the cars, the girls, the jokes and whatever. Like I like all that, but if you ask me what I remember and what I like about the first movie, it's when Vin Diesel meets Paul Walker. You embarrassed me. It's when what's it called? When Vin Diesel finds out that Paul Walker's a cop. It's them racing each other at the end and him, giving him the car and letting him go. It's like. It's these memorable moments between two characters who are forming a relationship that becomes more and more complex and interesting. And I didn't get that whatsoever with this movie. I don't know why him and Eva Mendes matter besides love interest. I get why she doesn't like the bad guy because he's the bad guy and he's mean and whatever. But I don't know. I don't care about this movie.
The thing is, the great thing is you don't have to, because it means nothing moving forward. Like they basically all you have to, because of course they come back in Fast 5, like Tyrese and this, like Tyrese and Fast 5. And basically in that movie, all you have to know is they're friends. Like that's why he called him. Like he knows a guy. Like it's just like Ant-Man.
It's just Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Civil War.
Yeah, but even less, because at least in Civil War, he tells Falcon, like, hey, or the Falcon's like, that was a great audition, but it'll never happen again. There's no reference to that in Fast 5. It's just oh, it's my boy. Like that's it. That's all there is.
Which is why it makes me respect the franchise less.
Which is why, because, hold on. Well, because I took my mom to go see Fast 5, I remember, in theaters when it came out, and she had not seen any of them. She saw the first one, I think, when I was a kid, but she didn't see 2, 3, or 4. And she saw 5, and she loved it, even though she had no connection or knowledge of the characters. She was just like, hell yeah, this is a great heist movie, which it is. It's fucking awesome. But I think it works because Fast 5 is basically a reboot, and it's all the better for it.
Well, I can't speak to it exactly because I haven't seen the 4th one, so I don't know if it really. But this one just feels like a spin-off. It feels like they just were oh, we're gonna go in a different direction. And you brought up the James Bond thing. I don't get that at all. At least James Bond is an interesting, iconic character.
Well, I meant more so in this. It doesn't necessarily apply to the Daniel Craig movies because the Daniel Craig movies are very interconnected. But when I said James Bond, I meant more so the style of the earlier James Bond, where it's you go in, you can go into any of those older movies without having seen the last one. They don't follow up on the plot of the last movie. It's just a new adventure. That's all I was saying.
Well, I would enjoy it more if there was a new characters. Just take Paul Walker out of it. Just do a different movie and give it the Fast and Furious label so that I could at least be so it's irrelevant. But now I have to acknowledge it because it's the sequel. And especially looking at this in a 2003 lens of oh, this is the sequel. We don't know there's going to be 7 more, 11, 9 more movies to go with some spin-offs.
So then I think you'll actually enjoy Tokyo Drift then, because that's basically that. They build the new characters from the ground up in that movie without having to do a shitty spin-off of side characters. Yeah, because honestly, Tokyo Drift feels straight up the first movie in a different franchise, but it's good for that. It's that's what makes it good and unique and cool. And that's why Twitter is still discovering it today, and they're wow, Tokyo Drift's kind of good, ? It's also the first movie in the franchise directed by Justin Lin, who went on to direct 4, 5, and 6, and he's come back to direct 9. So Tokyo Drift is the start of him because he directed a Sundance movie back in 2004. And then Universal's let's give him the no pun intended keys to the franchise. So you get to see an indie director take over with Tokyo Drift 2, which I think
I think that one's going to be better. I've heard good things about it. I always got that one and Too Fast, Too Furious mixed up, even though obviously Too Fast, Too Furious is the second one.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited going for it. I feel bad for being like I've had my arms full. I'm just like,
Don't.
it's
It is the bad movie in the franchise. Like, don't feel bad. It's true if I'm saying it. Like like I'm telling you, it's bad. I still
I
like
I
it,
I
but
kind of wish Brandon was because Brandon really likes it. He like I invited him and Tully over, and Tully hates them. Brandon loves them, and Brandon's defending it tooth and nail. But he's just sitting here being like, "Oh, the cars are cool," and
well,
"Oh, the
well, was he defending this one in particular, or just like the
yes,
entire? Oh, okay. Well, no, this one's dumb. Like it's good in the context of like the entire franchise, and like it's good if you're a fast head like me. But if you're like a normal, sane human being, unlike me, it's not. No, it's a bad movie. Like it's there. You cannot tell me with a straight face that like, yeah, this movie has a good script.
oh,
Yeah,
awful."
like yeah, like
Dog
no.
water, man. Like that, this script single-handedly torpedoes this movie, and it's such a shame because I am genuinely excited for the follow-up to Fast and Furious, which is insane in its own right. But yeah, wow, what a boner of a movie. Um, I have
I've never
nothing.
heard that before. What the
I don't
fuck?
know. That was just the first thing I thought of. Like this is like
What a boner of a movie.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about it? Did
That made
anything
me
like?
cry a lot. Like I actually have tears in my eyes. Wow.
I just remember
Um,
Michael Jordan's dad's in it, and that's cool, I guess.
is he
Yeah.
in
Oh,
this?
my point. Yeah, he's back as the cop from Space Jam.
Oh, I literally thought Michael. Never mind. Yes, now I remember. I thought
No,
you were
but
literally talking about Michael Jordan's dad.
I love
I'm
him
like
because
I've
he.
seen The Last Dance. I don't know if that's possible. No,
No, but he's like fun in this one, and like the last one, he's a hard ass, and it's like you completely changed, man.
I do like the part in this one where Tyrese and Paul Walker are fighting, and that dude just like he pulls out a seat and just starts eating peanuts and watching them fight. Like I like that part. Um,
No, he's great. But the point I was trying to say earlier, everyone in this movie is so rich for all these underground racing crap. Like you're betting 35 grand. Oh, and then like yeah, them jumping off the bridge is cool and all, but Suki, your car is like fucked up. Like, was it worth it?
well, there's no car insurance investigation in this movie. Like they will crash and then they'll be like they'll settle with them. They'll just give them whatever they need. There's no honestly, it's like GTA. Like you'll crash your car and then like you just have to pay like a $2 fine and it's like okay, your car is back in the shop. It's brand new. Like it's cool. Like it's all there's nothing matters in these movies. It's totally fine.
Which that's fine. And Michael Ealy, by the way, I will throw out the name. He's in it. Um, I kind of wish
He
he was
is.
more in it.
I
You
forgot about
know.
that. That's before he became a hunk. I mean, he's very attractive, but he achieved hunkhood, I would say, in like 2010, like where he was like a leading man. He's
Oh,
an underrated actor. I
the
like him.
only movie I've seen him in, and this is one of the greatest experiences at a theater. I watched About Last Night, which I got a free poster for.
I like that movie. That's what I was gonna mention too. I like that movie.
I'm happy for you because I don't and I don't like it. And
Good. I
I just
like
remember
it.
everyone being super attractive besides Kevin Hart. And I just remember I think it was close to Valentine's Day. So
Yep.
I think I did a double feature with RoboCop, which what an awful back-to-back duo. But
Um.
I remember getting up after About Last Night, and then the theater was packed. Like it was a smaller theater, but it was packed, and I was the only white person in the theater, and I'm like a 14-year-old little dude, just like it was a movie, and then walks out.
I I when did that come out? 2014. I was 13 when it. I know it's not 13. That's no. I was 16 when it came out, and
You were 16. It was 2014. You're not. Wait, are you older than me?
yes,
I keep forgetting this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was
yeah,
14.
yeah. I am older than you. I am 23 today. So
Today?
yes.
How did I not know about this?
Oh no, wait, don't. I mean like as we're speaking, I'm 20. No, it's not my
Oh.
birthday. No, no. Sorry, I meant. Okay, no. I I'm 23 right now. But yeah, that checks out, right? Because like 2014. Am I
Yeah,
doing the math?
if I was 14, you were 16.
Yeah, it came out in February 2014. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
puts so much more into perspective because I was just assuming we were the exact same age. And so
Right.
when you're like, oh, I was 10 when this is out, I was like, no, you were like 12. I mean, like, no, you were like 8, bro, but whatever, tell your story.
No, yeah, I know what I'm saying. I know my truth. But no, I remember seeing that movie about last night, and I was like, it's not great, but Michael Ealy, he should be in like he should actually be in more movies because he's like charismatic and cool, and I like him.
Isn't he in the Fatale that just came out?
So when I say he should be in actual movies, I mean he should be in actual real movies.
Hey,
Like,
Million Dollar Baby's in that movie.
oh yeah, Hillary Swank. I have not seen. I mean, I know Fatale is in a movie theater somewhere, but
Oh,
I ha-
it's there every. I almost watched it the other day. I had like 2.5 hour break, and I was like, nah,
but I
maybe.
have I a normal person has not seen Hillary Swank in a movie since her cameo in Logan Lucky. Uh, and then
Mhm.
before that, who knows last time I saw her. I miss Hillary Swank though. I like Hillary Swank.
No, the last thing I saw her in was the Office episode where they decide whether or not she's hot.
That was Hillary Swank.
Yeah, that was Hilary Swank. They're like, is she hot or is she not? And then like Oscar like
Oh,
measures her face and is like objectively she's beautiful. And like Kevin's like, well, it's not would I have sex with her, it's is she hot?
uh, I forgot about that episode, but Hillary Swank has rights. And I think
Yeah.
uh, no, I just mean she's cool. I like her.
Oh, even she has reds, and I'm like, don't we all?
Next.
So
But
what's your rating for the unless you
out,
have anything else to say?
no, I no, out of 5, right? Or is it out of 10? I forgot.
I do out of 5. You can do. I don't force my guests to do
Um,
that. Well, they can do whatever rating scale they have.
how very progressive of you.
Thank you.
Uh, out of 5 Nas tanks, I would probably give this. I mean, should I like do a thing each week where I like give my personal fast text rating, but then I give like my objective like film lens rating of it?
Oh yeah,
Like,
you can give both. Yeah, we got time.
okay, so my like I would give this a solid 3 out of 5 in terms of like fast text. Yes, if you are trying to come to the Church of Toretto, I do encourage you to read the Book of Brian. I do encourage you to do your research, but by no means is this essential text either. So it's a solid 3. It's part of the history, but it's not quite holy level, you know. As a
That's fresh.
film,
That's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. There are 3 stars. That means it's good.
I mean, hey, that's just the fast text rating. As a film, I I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to take my like fun out of it
Well,
because
you
like
can. No, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't. I don't care. Like, I mean, I could do that. I could be like with every movie, like, oh, objectively, Spotlight is a 5 out of 5. But I don't want to watch it again. I don't care. I don't enjoy it. Like, and then it's not because it's sad, but like, so in my rating, I've embraced the concept that my opinion is exactly that. It's just an opinion. So yes, I can try to make an objective, like, it's this many stars, but like, I'm inevitably going to be biased, and I'm fine with that.
then I'll just say 3 stars for this movie. Like
What was your objective one? I want to hear it.
I mean objectively like it's a shitty movie. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like shit, like 1.5 maybe. Like I don't know, like it's not good. Like there's very little redeeming qualities to it.
I'm
Um,
very happy you gave me this opportunity because I think there's only one answer for how I would rate this movie on a 5-star scale.
I know where this is going. Yeah, go off.
Undoubtedly, it is a textbook 2.
I mean, it's hey, that just feels right. You know,
It
that's
does, and I don't think even a hardcore fan would argue with me because they're like, yeah, well, it's too
actually
fast and too furious.
actually
And
my objective rating will be boosted to a 2 simply because Too Fast, Too Furious is the most memeable title in movie history, and they graced us with that. They really, truly did.
It is beautiful, a beautiful title. I wish the movie was more self-aware, but no, I like kind of how I judge it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give it a star for generally being like, like, oh, it delivered on what it wanted to deliver. It has cars, it has women, it has funny jokes, I guess, and tough fights and crime and whatever. And another star for actually genuinely being good at those things. Like it is fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's silly. It's a good time. It's not offensively bad. Like I sound more mad about it than I am. I watched it and I was like, yeah, yeah.
No, it doesn't invoke much enthusiasm. I admit it. But I think, this is just a speed bump. Get it? In a rather long and like prosperous road of like great movie going. So
Mhm.
I'm still excited to take this journey with you.
Thank you. Yeah, so that is Too Fast, Too Furious. That's all we got today. I I'm so excited going forward. Thank you again, Adam Sidorius. I said Adam at the beginning. Adam Sidorius, everybody. Adam 2,
Adam
as
too.
he's known in certain circles.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Do you want to go ahead and plug anything?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Adam underscore not Sandler. Also on Letterboxd, also Adam not Sandler. Um, my podcast's Aggressively Okay, and also my other podcast, The Zillennial Canon,
Mhm.
both on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find podcasts, you can probably find it there. So
Mhm.
go off, I guess.
I'm so happy that the first thing you plug is always Twitter because my favorite part about coming on your podcast is at the end when you guys ask me to plug something and I go, don't follow me on Twitter. It's just me complaining about things.
I mean, it's I'm a shit poster first and a human second. So I
I'm a different person on Twitter than I am in real life. I like to think.
you are for better,
Uh,
I
no,
think.
no, in real life, I think well, no, on Twitter actually, I think you know what my problem is?
Hmm.
I think my problem is that I'm too fast and I am too furious.